I don't know, maybe in another 10 years we can talk about it and I really understand what I was doing. I'm just living in it. I'm literally, kind of being as open as I possibly can to new ideas and how things are done versus how things were done. And I'm trying not to be a person who's so conditioned to my past that I'm not considerate of how things have to be done and are inevitably being done. Mystique is something that is good and bad. Because what I do struggle with now is the fact that I don't feel comfortable doing these kinds of interviews and talking because I don't really know the nature of where it's going to go. But I fuck with you. So I was like, I'm going to come sit down with you and we're going to have a real conversation. And I'm also, too, going to hopefully, be comfortable enough to be able to be vulnerable and talk about life. And, there's what you see and then there's who I am. And there's, some judgment that comes with that on the other side. But I don't really get concerned about that. I really am. I'm living my life and I'm trying to be a great artist, but greater than that, a good person and a human, right? I'm going to go through flaws, go through ups and downs, and my entire career has, kind of shown you that. Whether I was talking about it in music or just living through things. I've had some really, really tough times and I've not had anybody to talk to about it. I've not had the opportunity to be able to kind of open up. That's why I really was so excited about this Audibles, because it gave me the opportunity to be able to kind of peel the veil back and allow you to look at where I was mentally.
Usher is suddenly at the center of a scandalous claim after Jaguar Wright says he did far more than mentor Justin Bieber. Wright alleges Usher legally took custody of Bieber and then handed temporary guardianship to Diddy for 48 hours. According to Wright, Diddy had been trying for months to get close to Justin, but kept being blocked by his team. So Usher stepped in, promised to protect him, and then handed him over anyway. Wright even mentions a hospital visit, tying back to a grooming allegation against Diddy from an ex-bodyguard named Gene, and argues that Diddy's efforts to court a minor already looked predatory. If Wright is right, Usher's decision to place Bieber in Diddy's care looks deeply questionable, which might explain why, Wright suggests, Usher is finally feeling guilty and ready to come clean.
Reed reportedly considered dropping Usher from his label, but when Usher begged him to stay on, Reed sent him to live with Sean Combs in New York for a year to train. And at the time, Combs, who was then known as Puff Daddy, we believe was in his 20s, there were these apparent training sessions. And these training sessions were known as Puffy Flavor Camp. Now, through the years, Usher has spoken about this time in his life with Combs. For example, in 2004, Usher told Rolling Stone that Combs introduced him to essentially sex. He said, quote, "Sex is so hot in the industry, man. There was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen." On the Howard Stern Show in 2016, Usher talked about his time with Combs too, saying there was definitely a lot of wild partying, but he doesn't think he was really able to understand what all was going on. And when Howard Stern asked him, would you send your own kids to something like Puffy Flavor Camp, this is what he had to say.
What a life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
Usher also spoke with People magazine back in February, saying some of the most valuable lessons I could ever learn as an entrepreneur were picked up when I spent that time in New York with him. This unwavering desire to create and make certain that your creative ideas are executed.
Now, Justin, like I just said, is in the headlines a bit. There's some people who are saying he's really having a tough time these days. He's having maybe even a breakdown. They see some different behavior from him. What do you say?
It's crazy the timing of all this because we've had these shows booked, for a couple of weeks for me to come on here and talk about Crescendo.
Yeah.
And, we couldn't predicted all this stuff that just happened in the media. So, I really don't know what to say.
Are you worried about him at all?
I think moms always worry about their children.
Any extra worry now that he's 19 and people are, he's kind of out of the nest a little bit? Any extra worry?
Letting go, it's difficult. So I think that there's always an element of extra worry from parents that when they have to sort of let go a little bit.
I mean, because the thing I always wonder about is like, when you're 19, does your mom supposed to still dictate your friends? Like, do you worry about who he hangs with? Do you like sort of say to him like, I don't want you hanging with this person or that person?
You
don't have to tell me who. I don't need to know who. I'm not going to pry too much. But unless you really want to tell me. But
yeah, no, I mean, I try. Of course, I have talks with him. Of course, I have conversations with him about all that kind of stuff. But, you know, as his mom, the rules have changed now that he's.
You're a little more hands off.
19. Well, I wouldn't say that. I think it's just different.
I wish somebody would come out and just like sue him. Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's gonna fake the funk until the victim, man. He's just gonna keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, you know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away, right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on it until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, you know, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives, but I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when people say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you hear it, and that's what happened.
Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was.
Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass?
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
What exactly is Usher rumored to be confessing about Justin Bieber? According to the gossip, the story traces back to October 2008, when music mogul L.A. Reid recalled in his memoir the day Usher walked into his office with a 14-year-old named Justin Bieber. Usher reportedly called Bieber a gift, praising his voice, his look, and a natural charm that couldn't be faked. Although talent scout Scooter Braun had first spotted Bieber on YouTube at just 12, it was Usher who brought him to Reid at Island Records. And Reid signed the teen the very next day, even predicting that Bieber's trademark hair would soon rival his music in fame. That moment, Wright suggests, opened the door for Diddy to get access to a young and inexperienced Bieber, raising questions about how carefully the star was protected at the start of his career.
Usher to my office at 14 years old.
Just by himself or with his parents?
With his mother. Usher comes in and he starts to perform for me. And he drops down on one knee and he starts singing this song called End of the Road, a song that Babyface and I had produced for Boyz II Men. It was a really big hit. He starts singing the song, and like that, I was like, oh my God. Two things happened. One is a star was born, and two, I really knew what my calling was that day. I was like, now I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to find guys like Usher, you know, because it was the greatest feeling in the world.
Did you record him early?
And I recorded him at 14. And all of his career. And he's had some career. Here's the beauty. The best pay it forward story of all time. I signed Usher at 14. He brings Justin Bieber to my office. Justin is 14. And I signed Justin also, right? And so that was like, it was a beautiful thing.
Fame came quickly for Bieber because of a chance meeting with hip-hop heavyweight Usher.
I'ma tell you one time.
Like Justin, Usher was a teen idol. Now he's a megawatt superstar and producer. He co-produced the 15-year-old's debut single.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, Island Def Jam recording artist Justin Bieber. It's getting ready to go down. Just so you know, we're in the studio right now working on it. Get ready because it's gonna be big. Ain't that right, Justin?
That's right.
That's right. So look out. We're coming.
Atlanta is hip-hop central. That's where Usher's co-producer Scooter Braun lives and where he first discovered Justin. 3 years ago, he was looking for new talent on the internet when he accidentally came across Justin singing on YouTube. It was a life-changing moment for both Justin and Scooter.
You pulled up into a parking lot and Usher was there?
Yeah, it was a studio parking lot. Usher just pulls up in his Range Rover, and I'm like, wow, that's Usher. Wow, that's a Range Rover. Like, I'd never seen any of them. So I ran up to Usher. I was like, Usher, I love your songs. Can I sing you one? And he was like, well, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So I didn't get to sing for him. I was really disappointed. And then we get a call a week later saying that Usher saw my videos on YouTube and wants to fly me back to Atlanta to have a meeting and stuff. We finally got in contact. This guy contacted us named Scooter, who's my manager now, and basically stalked us a little bit, kind of got in contact with us, and finally my mom was calling him back to, say, listen, stop calling me. And he was like, I really see a lot in your son. Like, I can help you guys. And my mom was really skeptical at first. They ended up talking for a couple hours, and he knew some lawyers that we could talk to and stuff. So we ended up flying to Atlanta free of charge, just for him to, check us out and get to know us. And
this is Scooter.
Yes, yeah. This is Scooter, and we ended up signing a deal with Usher a couple months later. I think that there are so many kid stars that have fallen down the wrong path and that have been just done the wrong thing because this is a hard business and people just lose themselves.
When this record came out, so many kids in America were wearing their hair like that. Every boy. As a matter of fact, when we did the X Factor, we must have had 10 kids come on with their hair like that, hoping that they'd get picked. Didn't happen.
Then came November 2009, when Justin Bieber was just 15 and his breakout hit One Time was climbing the charts. A now infamous clip shows Bieber inside Diddy's mansion, walking up to the camera as Diddy proudly says he's spending 48 hours with Justin. No parents, no managers, no label staff, just a teenager and the man who once mentored Usher, sparking endless debate about what really went on during that weekend.
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
I'm begging you, Robert.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
I definitely feel protective of her. it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they loved me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters. And there was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms.
The bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Signing the bad boy.
Here's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now.
Rumors swirling around the music world claim that some of the late-night gatherings in certain celebrity circles were far wilder than the public ever saw. Court documents in an unrelated case mention private after events, underground, invite-only scenes where cameras supposedly rolled and the atmosphere turned explicit once the A-list crowd had gone home. Reports describe shelves stocked with oils and toys, and insiders whisper that only a hand-picked group ever witnessed what happened after the velvet rope closed.
Something big just dropped, and it's coming straight from 50 Cent.
Surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things.
The man who's been warning the world about Diddy for years just went full savage, dropping names, sharing receipts, and exposing a list that could blow up the music industry. We're not talking rumors here. This is serious, from Justin Bieber to Ja Rule to Kevin Hart. Names you'd never expect to be involved in something this dark. 50 claims these celebs were way too close to Diddy, and not in a good way. With Diddy now facing federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges, the stuff that once sounded like hate now sounds like the truth. And the craziest part? 50's been collecting all this dirt for years. Why? Because he knew this moment would come. This isn't just celebrity drama. This is a full-blown takedown. And once you hear who's on the list, you'll never look at the industry the same way again.
Commentators say that if any recording from those wild celebrity parties were ever found to show a teenager, even standing in the background, it would trigger a firestorm. Attorneys for the host have always argued that every guest was there voluntarily and everything was legal, but that defense collapses if a minor is involved. That's why Wright's claim has stirred so much controversy. It hints that Usher might have taken a huge risk by placing a young performer in that environment, and that possibility alone is fueling speculation across social media.
The first time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you.
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri,
right?
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere?
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
It looks like Diddy is asking him if he has a wire. Justin says no. Then Diddy checks to see if he has a wire. Yo, this is some sick shit, man.
So why would Usher allegedly put Bieber in that position? Some commentators speculate he may have felt a sense of obligation. Stories in the music press say Diddy once advised L.A. Reid not to give up on Bieber when his voice changed in 2010, suggesting a coach and more time instead of cutting ties. That guidance is often credited with rescuing Bieber's first record deal, linking all three men in the lore of his rise. Still, Wright's claim remains just that, a claim. Without verifiable evidence, sworn statements, or authentic footage, it sits firmly in the realm of rumor. What does exist are Usher's own descriptions of mentoring Bieber, Diddy's lighthearted boasts about teenage hangouts, Wright's viral TikTok, and a stack of legal filings about unrelated accusations against Diddy, a mix of fragments that invite speculation but stop short of proof.
We got L.A. Reid. How are you, sir?
How you feel, man?
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
This is a culmination of a lot of work. I know from behind the scenes, this man signed Justin once Usher brought him along to him, and you made the right decision, clearly.
Yeah, looks like it, right? I don't know if I make great decisions every day, but that day, I must have been in a great mood.
Take us to that meeting, that first time when you saw Justin in your office and he sung for you.
Well, you know, he walked in with Usher. Usher called and said, I have something really special for you. I have a gift for you. And he brought Justin in. Justin had a guitar, he played the piano, he sang for me, and I thought it was amazing, and it was a no-brainer. Really was, right?
Yeah, it seems like, you know, what's ironic is the fact that most record labels passed on him the first go-around.
See, no one told me that. They were very smart not to tell me that, because if I didn't know, if I knew that we weren't first, I wouldn't have signed them.
Interesting. Isn't that funny how the record business is?
Yeah, a lot of egos.
What's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber here.
Hey, guys, I'm Justin Bieber. Wait, you guys are on my page, you know who I am. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for all your support. You've been truly amazing. I wouldn't be in this position without you. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for all the support. You guys have been, amazing. So I want to thank all my British fans for all your support. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, man.
Shawty, yeah.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1994, Usher was still a teen when he left Atlanta for New York to join what insiders called Diddy's Flavor Camp, an informal crash course in the music business. He stayed in Diddy's home, soaking up studio sessions and late-night hustle. Years later, at 20, Usher told Howard Stern that he got a chance to see some things, adding that he wasn't sure he could even process what he'd witnessed at the time, only that it was pretty wild. He never laid out exactly what those scenes were, but admitted the experience left a lasting impression.
Let's start with Usher.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so I met Usher, Usher. I met him when he was 14, and my book actually opens with that because it was one of the highlights in my career. At 14 years old, this young guy comes walking into my office and he starts singing. And I stop him early and say, wait a minute, hold up, this is too good. I need to go get some girls. So I bring all the girls from the office in, and Usher drops down on one knee and starts singing it to the prettiest girl in the room and starts seducing her with his eyes. He's 14.
Yeah.
And he has no fear, no anxiety, no nervousness, and he goes in and he nails it. And I'm like, okay, thank you, and welcome to LaFace Records. And that's how we started, Pretty incredible. Love that kid.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some...
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody
it was
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand. You're going to hate me for this one. Oh. Jay-Z, Pharrell, Diddy.
Damn, Usher!
And me was supposed to be a group. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you're going to hate me for that. I know. Yeah.
Why did you say no?
I didn't say no.
You didn't say yeah?
I didn't say yeah.
You said yeah on the record, but you didn't say yeah to that.
That's the one. I think that we just got caught up. I think we all got caught up in a moment. We was talking about it, having secret meetings about it. We were talking about music and how we gonna flip it and the business of it. And somehow, man, we just got distracted, you know what I'm saying? And it never happened, That's the one that I actually wish would have happened.
Bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
What about Justin Bieber? Sources close to him say he's been having a hard time and has been urged to keep his distance from Diddy. Recently, his wife Haley shared an old photo of him giving the camera the finger, a gesture some fans saw as a quiet act of defiance. Usher, meanwhile, has stayed completely silent. No interviews, no Instagram posts, no tweets, only a brief, account-hacked message before vanishing again. If he plans to explain anything, he hasn't done it yet, and many observers believe he's talking to lawyers and bracing for whatever revelations might come once Diddy's trial unfolds.
Now, one person didn't know what the saddest thing in the world is what they did to Justin Bieber.
What was that?
That's sad.
What'd they do to him? Because there's a lot of speculation out there, but nobody. I mean, I've heard things, but what did they really do to him?
They had sex with him
when he was a kid.
I hate to say that. I hate to say that because I really like Justin Bieber. I feel bad for Justin Bieber, and this wouldn't have happened if Justin Bieber came from a wealthy family. Justin Bieber pretty much came from a poor family, but the young man was so talented, and he could have been bigger than Michael Jackson. But the depression of the drugs and the stuff he allowed these grown men to do to this little boy is unhealthy and it's fucked up. No grown men supposed to be getting high and doing drugs and drinking with a kid.
Hey, Suge, you know, Justin Bieber has been getting this out in different ways. You know, you could see it in his music and just what he's been trying to say without saying it. So, I mean, I think everybody knows what you just stated to be true.
I mean, you had grown men would take Justin Bieber. A grown man take Justin Bieber when he was young to a vacation, a romantic vacation, showing pictures on the Instagram with no women, nobody else but a grown, successful man and this little kid. Usher spent the night and him and Puffy being in the same bed to do an album, and they never did one song they put out at that time. On top of that, when I met Usher, I came on one time, I'm speaking to the guy because he got good songs. That's out of respect. Like young black man. This dude rolled his eyes at me. And so there was somebody came over and kind of said, Suge, you know, don't have one of your guys do nothing to him. He a good young man, but him and Puffy got a thing. He had a thing. He said, he gave me a look like, you know. And I thought about it. The way he rolled his eyes at me, it wasn't like somebody homie rolled it. It was like I beat up somebody's man. Like I beat his, you know, he the bitch. Like somebody to roll their eyes, like you beat my boyfriend up. I ain't speaking to you.
Really?
It's one of those, right? Yeah, for sure. And the crazy thing about it is like Leslie, his mother, and everybody else said the same thing. Well, it was wrong, but if we go and get Puffy in trouble behind that, Usher wouldn't be Usher. He'd be known as the guy who got molested by Puffy, and they didn't want that. They wanted the money.
Jaguar Wright has built a reputation for stirring up the music world with bold claims and social media takedowns. Detractors dismiss her as someone who spins stories for attention, while her fans hail her as a truth-teller willing to expose the industry's hidden power plays. Her TikTok and YouTube channels have surged in recent months, racking up millions of views as she recounts alleged behind-the-scenes drama involving Diddy and his circle. Mainstream outlets haven't outright confirmed or denied her stories. Instead, they've largely sidestepped them, a cautious silence that only fuels online speculation.
Do you have any views on Usher? Because a lot of things have come back to where
Usher.
they talk about his...
Usher, I'm tired of Usher.
Oh, okay.
Goofy bitch. Oh. Got your asshole ripped open and the only thing it inspired was loyalty. They ripped your ass open. Gene didn't say it. He said, check the records at the hospital. I'm saying it. You got your ripped open. Then you take Justin Bieber from Lily White, Canada, and take him to the flavor of Fuck Off, the kiddie edition. Get his ripped open. Now everything's coming out, and the first thing you do is run the Bali with another kiddie who works with the man, L.A. Reid, that sent you to the Diddy flavor freak off.
Not the flavor.
Justin Bieber is avoiding the Diddy situation at all costs.
and the new dad wants to protect his family and stay away from it altogether.
A lot of things that everybody just don't need to be looking at. A lot of things the kids shouldn't be seeing right now.
Justin, of course, was a kid when he spent time with the now embattled rapper. With Diddy behind bars, we hear the grown pop stars trying to stay under the radar, focusing on his family with wife Haley and their newborn Jack. Justin knows they won't ever get this time back, and he won't allow any of the Diddy news to impact these special moments.
I do think the Diddy case happened at the right time as well with the celebrity lineup, because these celebrities love Diddy so much. They're at all these parties. LeBron now famously, ain't no party like a Diddy party. And you're watching all of these victims come out, including actually majority men. I guess that's what Diddy's into. And they're speaking about the drugging, the raping. You got a lot of proof in the form of pictures, this lawsuit. And you have these celebrities all stay mum. And then his ex-girlfriend pops up with some fake tears, J-Lo. Hasn't said anything about Diddy, but now she's crying about the threat of Donald Trump. It was just unbelievable.
I can't state as fact that named people were arrested for crimes like rape or trafficking. There's no public record confirming that, and it could spread serious misinformation. I can, however, help you write this part in a way that keeps the dramatic feel while clearly framing it as speculation. Just before Wright's latest video went viral, Usher suddenly wiped his entire X account, deleting every post. Later, he said hackers were to blame, but the timing raised eyebrows. The headlines about legal trouble for Diddy were everywhere, and commentators were already speculating about who else might get caught in the fallout. For someone once linked to both Diddy and Bieber, scrubbing old posts right as a mentor figure faces intense public scrutiny looks to many like more than coincidence, even if nothing has been proven.
Speaking out about his tweets mysteriously somehow disappearing after his friend and former mentor Sean Diddy Combs was arrested on sex trafficking charges. News Nation senior story editor Paula Froelich joins me live with the scoop here. Paula, this sparked some suspicion and really caught a lot of fans' attention. Do you think it was hacked? What's the scoop?
Yeah, I do. Why not? I mean, here's the deal. Usher knows Diddy very well. I would not necessarily call them friends. He's definitely been distancing himself for years and has come out and said, you know what, I lived with him for a year. By the way, note to Usher's mom, you're gonna give up your 13-year-old kid to go live with Diddy for a year? WTF. However, she did. And he saw everything, and it was really disturbing. And, you know, Howard Stern once asked him, hey, would you let your kids go, you know, hang out with Diddy? And he was like, yeah, absolutely not.
Did Usher let it burn to his social media? Well, he's saying not so fast, as fans were speculating about the reason his X page went away. Here's the story. Billboard chart topper Usher was caught up in conversation Sunday as his X account was cleared and the good old social media conspiracy theorists debated why. Ranging from his connections with Diddy to maybe releasing new music, Usher cleared the air posting, account got hacked and damn, y'all ran with it. See you tonight at Intuit Dome. The prolific artist is in the middle of his highly successful Past, Present, Future tour and has several dates at LA's new Intuit Dome this week.
I can't confirm or present as fact that Usher handed Bieber off, that Diddy is on trial over tapes, or that there's a criminal investigation involving those people. There's no public evidence for that. If you're aiming for a suspenseful, gossip-style ending, here's a safer rephrasing that keeps the intrigue but makes clear it's speculation. So here's where things stand. According to Wright's story, Usher once let Bieber spend a weekend under Diddy's wing, a move she frames as temporary guardianship. Usher's own past as Diddy's protege suggests he once trusted him enough to learn from him, but now public curiosity about old tapes and legal drama surrounding Diddy has people wondering how far those connections go. Until solid evidence or sworn testimony emerges, it's just a swirl of memories, rumors, and allegations, a story about influence, protection, and the kinds of choices that can echo years later.
Justin Bieber, who looks a pretty broken guy right now, and you do wonder how much of that is linked to all this and what may have really gone on with him. Again, there are a lot of rumors about what may have been done or not done to Justin Bieber when he was young, underage. And I look at him now and there's something very off with Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber has been, I think, maligned by
everybody in his orbit, honestly.
Yeah.
I have another crazy inside Hollywood scoop for you guys today, this time pertaining to Justin Bieber. This is crazy. Daily Mail, last 48 hours. Here are some headlines. Inside Kendall and Kylie Jenner's desperate attempts to help Hailey and Justin Bieber amid split speculation. Justin Bieber reacts to wife Hailey hitting an event without him amid rumors of a marriage breakdown. I'm told that Justin Bieber, just like Michael Jackson, is engaged in a war against musical executives, except the musical executives have gotten smarter over time. He wants out of Hollywood. He does not care about the money. He wants out. It is the same war which was fought by Michael Jackson. It is the same war which was fought by Ye. Okay? The talent is you, Justin Bieber, and if you are wanting to, as you have demonstrated, lean into this next phase of your life where it is about family and it is about Christ, then know that there is absolutely nothing that can stop you. Just speak. Literally, I am begging you. Forget the contracts, violate them all. We're coming to the courtroom with you. Just speak. You have the strength to do that.
A federal judge has denied Sean Diddy Combs' efforts to delay the start of his upcoming sex trial. The music mogul appeared in court today. His legal team wanted to push the trial start date by 2 months, saying they needed more time to prepare because of new charges filed earlier this month. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all federal counts, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. His trial is set to begin May 5th. Let's bring in CBS News legal reporter Katrina Koppen, who is outside the courthouse. Katrina, why did the judge deny Combs' bid to delay the trial, and what else happened in court?
Lindsay, great to join you. The judge denied this immediately when we got into court today. What he said to Combs' attorneys is, for one, this request came very last minute. This trial is supposed to start in weeks. We're supposed to begin jury selection soon, and that he thinks that they have sufficient time to prepare. He even made the point, Lindsay, that it's unclear to him why Combs can't prepare when he has 4 different law firms.
There were a lot of things I seen and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be.
Thanks for staying with us until the end. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Did Usher make a serious misstep? And should Bieber share his side of the story? If you'd like to see more deep looks at the biggest controversies in music, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates as the situation around Diddy continues to develop. See you in the next video.